and current statistics have never been of a greater importance. The last few weeks have seen headlines screaming India's COVID numbers, both at home as well as internationally. There have also been some negative power words: mismanagement, shortage, complacency, unpreparedness, to name a few. Are they being used in the right context? Hello and welcome to New India Junction. Today we'll be talking about the real picture, the actual numbers that tell us about India's response to the pandemic. The judiciary has been playing an overly active role these days with respect to the country's COVID-19 response. Why is that? Again, some people have been throwing around statements related to the central government. Is this the complete picture? The answer is no. On the subject of judicial statements, here's one, and I quote, "We agree that health infrastructure we inherited over past 70 years is not adequate," says the Supreme Court. And another that reads, "Your system has not helped. If you can't manage, we'll ask Centre to intervene." Delhi High Court to the state government on COVID. The question now arises, if the court agrees that for 7 decades, governments have chosen to ignore the development of India's healthcare sector, why would it want the centre to intervene? Is public health as well as the hospitals that care for it a state subject under the Indian Constitution? Is the current government different? Have our leaders become aware of the overburdened medical facilities? This time, the answer is yes. The current government, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at its forefront, has reversed this trend. 22, yes, you heard that right. 22 new aims have been sanctioned under the Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. Now, are these mere empty declarations of the kind we had to familiarize with over the last decade? It seems not. Of these 22, 6 are fully functional. An additional 6 have working outpatient departments, meaning that consultations are already being done. 12 have actually begun MBBS courses and are training India's next medical geniuses. Moreover, over just the last 5 to 6 years, the situation regarding medical infrastructure has changed. Crossing the number of private institutions, India has managed to dramatically increase the number of government institutions for training medical professionals. You may be wondering, why discuss this at a time when the nation is battling COVID-19? Simply put, in the new India that looks to the future but remembers its heritage, progress and development is the only way. Only recently, in addition to the retired doctors, the final year and interning medical students have been requested to join the country's pandemic response. Do you think in the absence of a larger number of government colleges, these enthusiastic young medical professionals would have received this opportunity? Furthermore, let us look at how facilities and supplies, something that generated a lot of hue and cry, have fared as of today. Most importantly, given the heightened requirement of oxygen in the new cases seen during the second wave, medical oxygen has become priceless. Has the central government taken that into account? Yes, it has. Even when the peak requirement of oxygen was falling after the first wave, from 2,791 to 2,503 metric tons in September, oxygen production was being ramped up. It increased from 5,913 metric tons in April 2020 to 6,862 metric tons by September 2020. An almost exponential increase was affected during the second wave when oxygen production capacity was increased to 9,250 metric tons from 7,500 metric tons in the month of April itself. This capacity is of course in addition to the support India has received from the world over due to the goodwill it managed to build, thanks to Prime Minister Modi. Why the agitation then? When the central government is working on war footing, why the cries of chaos? Even when central resources like the Air Force and the railways have been pressed into service to ease the logistical pressure on the states, why the unnecessary allegations? Is it some sort of smokescreen to hide the shortcomings on the local level? That seems to be the case because the Prime Minister himself has been constantly apprising the states with respect to the need to be vigilant and proactive while controlling the cases. Even in March, with the spike in cases just beginning, he had warned the states and advised to stay vigilant. But did local governments pay any heed to his advice? Now let's talk about drugs and vaccination. As far as management is concerned, the requirement of vaccination has shot up dramatically, but so has the production and supply. India's supply capacity has increased from a mere 67,900 vials a day to 2.09 lakh vials a day between April 11 to 30, and that is an over 32% increase in daily capacity in just 19 days. The production capacity has increased to 1.03 crore doses a month. What's more, the government has not only increased production and supply, but the retail price has also been regulated. Now, isn't that what you would call national capacity building? Again, all this is in addition to the over 4 lakh doses that will be imported. The PM CARES Fund has also been critical in helping India build capacity, contrary to what your overly woke friend may tell you. With over 2,000 crore allocated for Made in India ventilators, approval for 551 PSA oxygen generation plants and 1 lakh oxygen concentrators, not including the additional 500 oxygen generation plants to be set up by the DRDO, PM CARES has actually and in all practicality helped India breathe. The fund has also been used to set up COVID hospitals and ramp up vaccination drives. When it comes to vaccination, as of yesterday, 17.56 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been provided to the states free of cost, with over 72 lakh doses in stock with states. But no one seems to be bringing this to the forefront. Why is this happening? Why can't we look at and focus on the humongous efforts being made by the PM Modi-led government? Is there some other game afoot, perpetrated by the so-called liberal gang? Is badmouthing and ignoring becoming the new breed of activism? When will this lobby stop and help build the nation? Or will they never stop? We leave you, our discerning viewers, with these difficult questions, not to trouble you in these difficult times, but to help you understand that not just this virus, but the efforts to contain it are being made at an unprecedented level to help you understand the bigger picture more clearly. Keep watching NIJ for more insightful discussions. Remember to stay safe and healthy.